Mayhem wants to know, when you were participating in Wrestler's Court, would you have rather been representing defense or prosecution? Also, did you have a certain tactic that you would always try or ever do any lawyer skits? So what was your role in Wrestler's Court? Just take us through, your happy place of Wrestler's Court.
Oh, I was a prosecutor, always the prosecutor, 100%. I would never defend anybody. Nobody ever won a case except the prosecutor. Of course, it was rigged. That's why I always won. I'm like Jerry Spence, except mine was fixed. Okay, let me explain to you how Wrestler's Court would happen. Here, two guys. Now, we're on the road all the time. So somebody come to me and go, hey, man, I'm going to take so-and-so to Wrestler's Court. Now, 99% of the time, it was not serious. It was like, what happened? They didn't pay their tab, and I got stuck with it, or whatever happened. Or it'd be something funny. Most of the time, it's something funny that they had done, and it was something wrong, but it was all tongue in cheek. So then I would go to Taker, and I'd say, okay, here's our potential Wrestler's Court. What do you think? And he'd sit there and think about it, and he'd debate, and I'd throw in my opinion. Should we settle this out of court? And if we settle out of court, what's the penalty going to be? And if both sides agree, then they don't go to court. Or is it going to be so entertaining that we need to go to court with it? So we would debate this. This was an intricate process now. This Wrestler's Court was not taken lightly by anybody. And so we would debate. Now, most of the time, if there's two really funny guys, it always went to court because these guys were going to be hilarious in court. That's what we wanted. Because we would tell them in court, listen, we're going to make you tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God, unless you want to lie. And if you want to lie and it's creative, we wholeheartedly approve. So there were no rules in Wrestler's Court except be entertaining. So then we figured out if we want to go to court with it. And if we did, then I was the prosecutor. Either Kane or Godfather was the bailiff. Undertaker was the judge. And then whoever was on the defense side would have to hire an attorney. Now, the fact that they're guilty, that's already known before we go to court. It's just a matter of how guilty are they.
I love that. Thank you for the explanation. Context is king. I like to hear that. JD Power, No Associates. What a great name that is. Bravo, concert. He wants to know, what are your biggest regrets in your career? Do you have any regrets? Does one come to mind immediately, John?
I've got so many things I either did stupid or did wrong or got hurt and, opportunities wasted. But it's one of those things, and I'm not one of those guys. I have no regrets, but you can't have regrets because I'm fine where I am right now, and I'm not sitting here and saying, I'm blessed. God bless me. I hate those guys that do that. Like, oh, my life is so blessed. Like, okay, screw you. You're that happy, and you got to tell everybody about it. I'm fine where I am right now, and wherever that is, I'm fine with it. And if you change something on the chessboard of your life before you get this moment, it changes everything. And who knows where I'd be if, something was changed, even if it was something stupid that I did that I probably shouldn't have done. So I don't really have regrets enough to say I wish I would have done something different.
Let's not try to have a serious conversation. Let's make it lighthearted. Do you regret not getting to work a match with this guy or that guy, or a program with this guy or that guy? Like, where the timelines would have permitted it, it could have technically happened. It just didn't.
Yeah. There was a time they were going to put me in a match with Steve, and I left the building early.
Oh God!
Oh, fuck. Billy got hurt or something, and oh my God, they put me out there 2 weeks straight with the same guy and just did a hardcore match and had me get beat. They were so mad. Guys used to leave early because we had different shows, and they had somebody. They needed somebody for the main event. They're going to put me in there, and stupid. I got punished for about a month for it, but longer than that because I didn't get the opportunity. Yeah, there were so many people I'd love to have worked with. You can't take them out of history, but Magnum TA to me was a guy that I'd love to have worked with. Regal was a guy I was supposed to work with. I had this whole program set. I tore my bicep. They were going to blame it on him. He was actually in the ring with me at the time, but I think Chavo drop kicked me. I can't remember who it was, out of the ring, and I grabbed the rope and snapped my bicep, and they were going to blame it on Regal. That's when Regal went and almost died. And so I never got to work the program. That was one of the, mishaps that I had. So yeah, there were a lot of times that, things happened that I wish could have been different.
When you were saying Regal almost died, is that the parasite thing?
Yeah. That's the parasite. I believe that's the parasite thing. Yeah. When he went down and almost died, I guess down in Africa or something.
India, I think maybe.
Africa, India. What it was. One of those foreign continents.
Not Alabama or Texas.
No, it wasn't Alabama or Texas. If it was Oklahoma, he'd have called it the dumbass and would have never got rid of it. He'd end up addicted to freaking bingo.
I love it. Sean Brown has a fun question I know you'll enjoy. How did you get started in investing, John? What are you looking for when trading stocks? Who do you follow on social media for tips? What books did you read? Did you get in on the GameStop craziness?
Okay, first the GameStop craziness. I got a buddy that did get in on it, but he got in on it through the chat rooms. So he was following the chats, which is all
Reddit. Yeah.
Reddit, which is 100% legal.
Yeah.
And he made a lot of money off this. He's a big hedge fund guy. He's got, he's made a lot of money in his life. But I was always worried I was going to be the last one in. It's like, in musical chairs, if you don't end up getting a chair, you end up falling on your ass. And I was always worried I'd be the one. So I didn't get in the GameStop because of that. I was always scared of the momentum stocks. I got into investing in 96, 97 when I first started making a little bit of money because I'd played a little football, didn't have any money, and always said I'd invest when I did. I just read a ton of books. Peter Lynch's Know What You Own was one of the best books that I ever read. So I had an idea to write my own financial book for people like me that didn't like financial books. So that's why I wrote the book. But I read a ton of books, and I got lucky. The first investments I made were in 97, I believe it was. It was an Asian crisis, which I didn't know was a crisis at the time. I was just lucky to get in at that time. I bought Oracle and Applied Materials, my first two stocks, and they went straight up, and because of where I bought them, I got incredibly lucky where I bought them. I thought, man, it's a lot easier way than making money than taking bumps. So I started investing after that, and I invest in very safe stuff. I don't look at something and go, okay, this is going to double in a month. I look at this, is this going to be an 8 to 10% grower for the next 10 years? And that's how I invest in it. I look at companies that I like, that I understand, and that I can explain. And if I think they're a good company, like I've invested in Walmart for years because there's a Walmart in my hometown in Athens, Texas, and I know how good this store is. And everybody in town shops at this freaking store. I know how good that company is. And then if you look at the financials and think, okay, this is a good time to invest, there's not much way you can go wrong. That's why I've never invested in crypto. I don't understand it. I've had buddies that made a lot of money in it, but Vince, I learned this from Vince. Donald Trump told Vince to invest in some real estate. And Vince told me on the plane one time, he goes, I never did that because I don't understand real estate. Vince wouldn't invest in something he didn't understand. And I've always thought that's the way you should treat investing. Only invest what you can explain very easily.